Right. Hey Ron, I'm Klloo. So, the next portion of the Hunted set to review is going to be Ninja, right? So, Cindra. So, Cindra, whenever you hit a marked hero, create a Fealty token. Cindra and Fang both share that top clause, although I gotta say, for Cindra, I find it's a lot less impactful, right? Because you mark to get filthy, you get filthy to create Draconic chain links, but it's really unnecessary because they haven't continued with Rupture for Draconic. They haven't really given any big Draconic payoff cards. So thanks to her daggers and her other main ability and the plethora of retrieve a dagger, right, and throw a dagger, you can get enough Draconic chain links easy enough that I feel like you don't want to complicate things by taking a hefty mark or fealty package, right? You can generate fealty a few different ways, and you can use them in spur of the moment places to get a bit more damage across, but they don't feel necessary. So I kind of wish that her top ability was a little bit different, but of course then we have once per turn instant, pay 3, equip up to 2 Draconic daggers from your graveyard, and it costs 1 less to activate for each Draconic chain link you control. So very strong, right? Especially with all the dagger destruction effects. So yeah, Cindra's nice, chain links are nice, right? Draconic cards, 1 or 2 or 3 is nice, and you're sorted. Right, so your first payoff, Blood Runs Deep. This costs 1 less to play for each Draconic chain link you control, and when this attacks, each dagger you control deals 1 damage. If damage is dealt this way, dagger is hit, destroy the dagger, right? So Blood Runs Deep, anytime you draw it, is your nice easy turn of swing, Blood Runs Deep, re-equip, right? And then do whatever else you have going on. And it's 2 cost for was it 2 swings, Blood Run Deeps, and then a 2 damage ping, right? Which is sort of on the lower end, but you do have lots of ways to amp it, and going really wide and chipping away your opponent is definitely going to be interesting. So Blood Runs Deep is definitely her big staple to me. Then we have Ignite, 0 cost. When this attacks, an extra Draconic card you play or activate this combat chain costs 1 less to play or activate. That's the other thing to also consider. You can get away with taking heavier cost Draconic cards and then mixing in non-heavy cost Draconic cards, because a card like Ignite that checks for a Draconic card, right? You don't have to use Fealty to get the Draconic card. What you could do is use Ignite, right? Play another Ninja card that sets up Draconic even further, then go into your Draconic payoff card that's now discounted or amped in some other way. So I do actually, again, think blending Draconic and non-Draconic is more Cindra's style than trying to go for Mark, trying to generate Fealty and convert everything to Draconic. So yeah, Ignite is definitely a nice piece, right? 0 cost 2, and then makes a further Draconic card a little bit cheaper. Demonstrate Devotion. If you control 2 or more Draconic chain links, this gets go again, and when this attacks, create a Fealty. So again, bypassing Bark completely, swing twice, play this, and you get a Fealty token generated, regardless of whether or not it hits or not. Plus, it's that 1 cost. So again, you go dagger, Ignite, play something else, demonstrate Devotion, still get the -1 from Ignite, and then have a Fealty for another turn. So yeah, I'm probably more gearing towards taking a flat 0-line Ninja set of cards and then throwing in more expensive Draconic cards. Display Loyalty, 0 cost and same effect. So if you control 2 or more, this gets go again, which is big, right? So 0-3 with go again, and then when this attacks, so unconditional, doesn't have to hit, you get a Fealty token. So yeah, I think between Display Loyalty and Demonstrate Devotion, you can just be happy enough with the Fealty, right? Have them linger around and then use them in a pinch when you need. Now, Wrath of Retribution. So legendary for a very reasonable reason, right? This costs 1 less to play for each Draconic chain link, so 3 cost. You can get down to 0, easy enough. When this attacks, daggers you control get +1 and cost 1 less to activate this combat chain. So the idea here is you can go into a hefty Draconic sequence, right? If you take 3 0-cost Draconic cards, you play them, Wrath, and then swing, right? And then if you have Flick Knives, you can re-equip and swing again, and that's a sizable turn. So yeah, this and Blood Runs Deep are just, as soon as you draw them, your turn is so easy to pull off and still do a decent amount of damage and go wide enough to get something across. So yeah, Wrath of Retribution is going to be good, right? And just taking it in sealed or draft. You can draft multiple. Can you play multiple in sealed? I gotta check the ruling. I can never remember, right, the difference between the two. But obviously, because it's legendary, and the legendary update is only in a constructed deck, so I think sealed you can't take multiple. Yeah. And then we have Blood Drop. This costs 1 less to play for each Draconic chain link you control. So 0 to go again. It's okay. It's not fantastic. Filler. Bloodline, a 2 for 3, much better, considering again you have that ease of generating Draconic links. So 0 cost 3 with go again, good. Burning Blade Dance, if you control 2 or more Draconic chain links, this gets go again, so 0 for 3 with go again. Again, nice, right? And then when this hits a hero, you may have target, dagger, you control deal 1 damage, so a nice, simple flick. And you probably want it because you want a lot of flick abilities, right? And again, it's easy enough to set up. This is basically just 2 dagger swings, burning Blade Dance, right? And then you can re-equip a dagger. Cinder Skin Devotion, that's a reprint. Yeah. So 1 cost, potentially go again. Again, using conjunction with Ignite, throw in some ninja filler pieces. Dust Runner Outlaw, I feel that's also a reprint, right? So 1 for go again. It's unconditional as comparison, but you get 2 block, that's the difference, right? So I do like Cinder Skin Devotion. There's enough discount cards, and again, plenty of ways to generate the chains necessary to pull these type of effects off. I almost feel like for Cindra, her thing should have been anytime you are required to control Draconics +1 or something like that, right? She's nice. She may not, I don't think she's OP, but yeah. Chipping away your opponent is definitely going to be easy enough. Hot on their heels. If you control 2 or more, this gets go again, and when this hits a hero, mark them. So, nice enough, right? You might as well take it instead, although it's 3 attacking. Yeah, I still like it more than Cinder Skin Devotion. And then whether or not you land the attack on mark or any other mark effect, I think, again, is not your priority for Cindra. Lava Vein Loyalty, reprints again. Yeah, so 0 cost 2, 0 for 3, potential go again. Mark with Magma. If you control 2 or more Draconic chain links, this gets go again. And when this hits a hero, mark them. So 1 for 4 with potential go again is nice enough. And then, yeah, potential mark. So you definitely take them over the base, right? But the majority of these are just here for the draft. Although these may see play. If we get more mark interaction in the future, obviously they'll get better and better. Ronin Renegade, also a reprint, 0 for 3 with go again. Art of the Dragon Blood. So this is one of the cards that you do want to make Draconic. And there's only a handful of them, right, that you do want to convert purposefully, not just to interact with everything else you have going on. So yeah, saving fealty for these styles of cards is, I think, good enough, right? And you don't have to go overboard. So when this stacks, if it's Draconic, it gets go again. Big, 0 for 4 with go again. And then the next 3 Draconic cards you play this turn cost 1 less to play, which is definitely really nice. I can never remember Blooded Drakkar. I'll find it later. Does that just discount attacks? And it mustn't. It must be the same wording, right? Yeah. So yeah, it does have a lot better use with some of the Draconic payoff cards. And then Devotion Never Dies. A very, very fun card. So when this hits, if a Draconic attack was the last attack of this combat chain, banish this. If you do, you may play it this turn. So it is essentially Ninja's version of Endless Arrow, right? But I do feel you have a much easier time of landing it. Granted, you have to get around the 1 cost. Although, generally speaking, right, for Ranger, you have to get around re-equipping it to your arsenal to actually shoot it, right? So, yeah, I like Devotion Never Dies more. And again, it seems easy enough, right? Just pressuring with it anyway to force your opponent to block and then free up other stuff. Since the go again is unconditional, is really nice to me, right? So you just go Dagger Swing Devotion, force them to block, and then go into something else, right? And you don't have to get the payoff. But when you do get the payoff, you can go pretty nutty with it. Prowess of Agility. Should this exist? Mask of Momentum as a card. In fact, better than Mask of Momentum, right? Because you don't have to hit in a row. It's just the 4th time during a turn. When you attack, you may destroy this if you do draw a card. So worth noting there, right? You only get 1 chance around to utilize this. On the 4th attack, has to be the 4th attack. But yeah, maintaining this seems easy enough. Just attack 3 times, so 2 dagger swings plus 1 other card, and you're sorted, right? And then yeah, the potential to get draw or force your opponent to destroy this is nice, right? And in the future, as Aura Destruction becomes more commonplace and becomes more inbuilt into a lot of cards, it will drop off. But I do like giving your opponent priorities to disrupt, and because that, in a sense, also disrupts their turn, because their priority now is, I want to destroy this before my opponent uses it to run away with tempo. Right, Art of the Dragon, Claw, Fire, and Scale. Destroy a card in their arsenal is definitely nice, but, you know, in Constructed, you can just take other stuff. You don't have to link ninja cards. You don't have to really worry about chain links. It's just the Draconic stuff that you're setting up. So, yeah, you're most likely taking some of the other Arsenal Destruction, Command and Conquer, if you can. $300 for a playset, right? Something like that, yeah. Art of Dragonfire, 2 ping damage. It's okay, right? Kind of wish they were a little bit lower and go again. but, you know, they might be nice. And now, equipment destruction. Definitely better. When it stacks, if it's Draconic, it gets when this hits hero, put a -1 counter on equipment they control, then if it has 0, destroy it. So I do actually like Art of the Dragon Scale, and I do like equipment destruction as a bigger thing, right? Because we're getting more and more value out of equipment nowadays. So yeah, sideboarding this for certain matchups where you know your opponent's critical equipment piece, their reusable equipment piece, is just going to have 1 armor. It's nice, right? I don't know if you need a full playset though. Dragon Power, when it stacks, if it's Draconic, it gets +3. So 1 for 7 is definitely a nice stat line, just by converting it to Draconic. So if you're not going out of your way, it is an okay fealty payoff. Silver Talent, if it's Draconic, you may have target dagger you control deal 1 damage to them, right? So flick. So a 0 for 4, no go again. Unfortunately, if I had go again, I'd love it, but it doesn't. So I think there's enough ways to destroy your daggers that you don't need Silver Talent, right? Yeah, yeah, because in my mind, you're either paying 1 for a destruction effect in most cases, or a card like this, you're using fealty or some other way to turn it into Draconic. So I feel like it should have go again, right? Maybe a 0 for 3 with go again would have been best stat line. Otherwise, again, there's just other ways to destroy your daggers. First Tenant, strike first. When it stacks an extra Draconic attack, this combat chain gets +1. So again, this is your filler piece. You go Ignite, you go Fire Tenant, and then you go your Draconic card that's now discounted and slightly buffed. Right? Gore Claw, if a Draconic attack was the last attack this combat chain, this gets +1. So 1 for 5 with go again is definitely nice, right? So these are I like these as filler cards. Again, to remind you that fealty and converting to Draconic isn't the be-all and end-all, but rather weaving in Draconic through with Ninja cards is nicer, right? I almost wish these were a bit more flexible, though. And I know it wouldn't make sense thematically, but if it was like, if the next stack has a talent, right? So any future ninja we could weave in, right? For instance, Zen, you could tie in a Mystic card instead of Draconic. But it's not too bad. It's just kind of weird having a ninja card that obviously is not really a ninja card. It's just a Fae and Cindra card, but giving it Draconic would defeat the purpose. Grow Wings. If Draconic attack was the last attack of this combat chain, this gets go again. There's better. 0 for 3, go again, so not too exciting. Tag a target. When this hits hero, mark them. So conditional mark, I think it's unnecessary. Same with Trap and Release, but they do have go again, so I guess they're nice filler cards, especially for draft. Blood-Splattered Vests. We went over this with Assassin, but I do think this is just going to be best in slot for Assassin and Ninja for its longevity, right? Just again, because in comparison to Tunic, you're getting sizable value, right? 9 turns worth of Tunic in Blood-Splattered Vest, but you have the flexibility of being able to utilize the resources more consistently and more readily, right? You can use it twice a turn, 3 times a turn if you get the dagger hits, or you can use it on 2 consecutive turns, whereas Tunic, you have to wait for the counters to rebuild. Leapfrog Vocal Sack, I think this is the strongest armor set, right? Aside for going into the mirror match against Cindra, right? But even against Cindra, I don't know what Cindra has access to, but no, she doesn't have a different one. The Deep Red set, right? The other draft set, I don't like that at all, because it just, to me, gets devalued by Leapfrog. Obviously, Warrior doesn't have access to Leapfrog, but Leapfrog against either Arakni or Fang is really, really strong, right? So I do think this will be the main draft set for Assassin and Ninja. Danger Digits, your budget Flick Knives, just draft filler, right? One-off Flick Knives is still nice, especially with 30-card decks and a young hero. Pain in the Backside, not my favorite card, but still decent. 0 for 3, go again, and Dagger Flick effect, right? Has to hit though, and you don't get an option of May. If it does hit, you lose a dagger. Keep that in mind. Throw Dagger, fantastic. Fantastic for Cindra, right? It is your dagger destruction effect and draw a card. So it's just basically having extra charges of Flick Knives. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else we really have to say. It's definitely an auto include in Cindra, right? It's a easy way. Flick Knives and 1-throw dagger, and you can use Cindra's ability to equip both daggers without, doing anything else. So I do think you can get away with Cindra with very, very minor effects and just coasting on Flick Knives value. Cut through. If you hit with a dagger's combat chain, it gets +1 and go again. So 0 for 4 with go again is definitely nice. And, you have plenty of opportunities to prime this with dagger pings as Cindra. So I do like this for Cindra more than I do Arakni. Up, sticks, and run. Retrieve. So is it necessary with Cindra? I think because of the +4, It's fantastic, actually, right? But, again, is it necessary? So, you already have 2 re-equips with your hero ability. If need be, you can use it on your opponent's turn, pay 3. And I suppose the consistency of upsticks or the retrieve mechanic for Cindra is making sure that you have your daggers for your following turn, right? You can go a little bit further, use Cindra's ability, and then still have your daggers for the following turn. So, yeah, I do kind of like it, but I feel like it's better in Arakni. Pick up the points. So, retrieve again, 0 cost, go again, 3, and pay 1. So, no, I like the +4 more than just an attack. No, because it breaks the chain. Actually, never mind. I like pick up the point better, right? So, up 6 and run for Assassin, pick up the points. I like more for the Ninja. Poison Blade. So, yeah. It's still not my favorite card, but obviously a lot better in Cindra than Arakni, since you will get a lot more dagger swings. Again, for comparison value, you have to get 2 daggers across, right? 2 swings and a flick of some sort to get a +3 out of it, technically, right? And then from there you get value. I guess it's good again as your filler piece for Cindra, right? You pitch a blue, you play this, you swing twice, you do some other stuff, right? Yeah, I guess that's a fine opener, right? Since that's the go again. If it was 3 block, I think I'd like it a lot more, just for flexibility, right? But I don't think the buff is that great. For draft, right? Chip damage is huge. For class constructed, it's okay, I think. Throw yourself at them. When it's attack hero, you may destroy target dagger. So the other thing to recognize with these types of effect is you have the hit ones, which occur after that attack happens, right? Or cards like throw yourself at them that you can use to clear prevention effects. The prevention effects that are, prevent the next one source of damage, right? So you can use this to clear and then have throw yourself at them land, which with reacts I think is more substantial for Assassin, but still a nice mechanic, right? So yeah, I do like the when this attacks and the hit side of things. So you've either got your dagger occurring before the attack or after the attack. Layer of the Spider. I don't think Ninja cares that much about the traps, right? I guess again the mark is okay. I don't think it's fantastic for Cindra. So yeah, I don't think Layer of the Spider's anything decent. I don't even know if you take it in draft. Do you take it in draft? You might take it in draft. And we might as well talk about Retrace the Past. So I do really like Retrace the Past. Katsu Spec, right? Combo when this attacks. If card with the Gust Wave in its name was the last attack, its combat chain. Name any card, and this gets that name. +2 and go again. So 0 for 4 with go again. That basically swaps combos, right? So you go from one combo to, most likely the finisher of another combo, which is definitely nice, right? It's a nice card to make combo a bit more consistent, right? When you draw this and say you've mismatched combos in your hand, Gust Wave, Retrace, and then another combo. Yeah, so I do really like Retrace Fast. It will work wonders in Katsu, right? There we go. Assassin. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think. What cards are you excited for? Yeah.